Welcome to Vintage Memoriam. Today, we reveal the untold stories of famous boxers who died in 2024 to 2025, the year the sport lost its brightest stars to shocking tragedies. Watch every second, because what happened to them could happen again. Number 1. George Foreman. The boxing world stood still on March 22, 2025, when George Foreman, the ageless wonder who twice conquered heavyweight boxing across generations, passed away at 76. From the smoking ruins of his Rumble in the Jungle defeat to Ali to becoming history's oldest heavyweight champion at 45, Foreman's career was a masterclass in reinvention. His 1994 title win over Michael Moorer wasn't just a comeback. It was a middle-aged man outsmarting time itself. The same fists that once leveled Frazier now deploying veteran tricks to drop a man 19 years his junior. Yet Foreman's true genius emerged outside the ropes, where he transformed his Big George persona into a $300 million grill empire that made him more famous as a businessman than as a two-time champ. The same hands that delivered 68 knockouts now signed endorsement deals, proving his greatest fight wasn't against Ali or Holyfield, but against the stereotype of the broke ex-boxer. Foreman's death certificate may list natural causes, but those close to him knew the real cause: a heart too full of living finally wearing out. In his final years, the preacher-turned-pugilist-turned-pitchman could still be found at his Texas ranch, offering wisdom to young fighters between bites of his famous grilled burgers. While modern boxers chase social media fame, Foreman's legacy stands as a monument to substance: Olympic gold, 2 heavyweight reigns, and the rare second act that outshone the first. As tributes poured in from Tyson to Obama, one truth became clear: boxing didn't lose a legend. It lost its last connection to when giants still walked the earth. Number 2. John Cooney. The brutal reality of boxing's dangers came into sharp focus on February 8, 2025, when 28-year-old Irish super featherweight John Cooney lost his life following a title defense that would change the sport forever. Cooney entered Ulster Hall in Belfast on February 1st as the reigning Celtic super featherweight champion, putting his title on the line against Nathan Howells in what was expected to be another step toward bigger opportunities. The bout followed a familiar pattern of punishment and bravery, with Cooney absorbing heavy shots in the later rounds before finishing the fight on his feet, unaware he had suffered catastrophic brain damage that would claim his life just 7 days later. His death marked boxing's first ring fatality since the 2019 tragedy of Maxim Dadashev, exposing how little had changed in the sport's approach to fighter safety despite repeated warnings. As tributes poured in from across Ireland and the boxing world, disturbing details emerged about the circumstances surrounding Cooney's final fight. Medical reviews revealed the young boxer had shown subtle signs of distress as early as the 7th round, but the bout continued through its scheduled 10 rounds. When Cooney collapsed in his dressing room, the arena's limited medical facilities forced doctors to work with outdated equipment before transferring him to a hospital ill-prepared for traumatic brain injuries. The subsequent investigation uncovered alarming gaps in safety protocols, including the absence of mandatory pre-fight brain scans and inadequate emergency training for ringside personnel. The same issues that had contributed to previous deaths, like Scotland's Mike Towell in 2016. Cooney's tragedy forced boxing's governing bodies to confront uncomfortable truths about the sport's culture of risk. Within weeks of his death, the British Boxing Board of Control implemented John's rule, mandating neurosurgeons at all championship bouts and real-time brain monitoring for fighters. Number 3. Dick McTaggart. The boxing world bid farewell to one of its purest talents on March 10, 2025, as Dick McTaggart, Scotland's Olympic icon and the sport's consummate gentleman, passed away peacefully at 89. The Dundee native, who captured light welterweight gold at the 1956 Melbourne Olympics with a masterclass of precision punching and graceful footwork, remained Britain's most decorated amateur boxer nearly 7 decades after his historic triumph. McTaggart's revolutionary style, combining southpaw brilliance with unparalleled defensive awareness, earned him the Val Barker Trophy as Melbourne's outstanding boxer, an honor no British fighter has matched since. His record-setting 3 Olympic appearances, 1956, 1960, 1964, featured a remarkable 6'10" amateur record, with the 1960 Rome Games seeing him awarded an unprecedented special bronze medal for sportsmanship after comforting a bloodied opponent. While professionals offered lucrative deals, McTaggart chose to remain an amateur, working as a shipyard rigger and later a taxi driver while mentoring generations of Scottish fighters. His 1956 gold medal, Scotland's first Olympic boxing title, became a national treasure, displayed at Dundee's McManus Galleries. Number 4. Paul Bamba. The boxing world was stunned on December 27, 2024, when rising cruiserweight star Paul Bamba, fresh off claiming the WBA gold title just 6 days prior, passed away unexpectedly at age 35. The New York-born fighter had been in the midst of a career-defining year, compiling a perfect 14-0 record in 2024, with all wins coming by devastating knockout, cementing his reputation as one of the division's most feared punchers. Managed by Grammy winner Neo, Bamba brought rare crossover appeal to the cruiserweight division, his fights becoming must-see events that blended athletic brutality with hip-hop glamour. His December 21st title victory in Miami seemed to herald a new era for the 200-pound division, making his sudden passing days later all the more shocking. While the cause of death remains undisclosed, Bamba's final year told the story of a fighter hitting his terrifying prime. Training footage showed him routinely dropping sparring partners with body shots during his camp at Las Vegas's Mayweather Boxing Club. His 19-3 professional record belied his recent transformation into a complete fighter. The same hands that once scored viral one-punch knockouts now demonstrated refined defensive skills under renowned coach Kevin Cunningham. The boxing community mourned not just a rising champion, but what might have been. Bamba was weeks away from a life-changing title unification bout that would have headlined a pay-per-view event. As tributes poured in from athletes and musicians alike, his legacy became clear. Paul Bamba was that rare fighter who made brutality look beautiful, if only for a fleeting moment. Number 5. Israel Vasquez. The boxing world lost one of its most valiant warriors on December 2, 2024, as three-time junior featherweight champion Israel El Magnifico Vasquez succumbed to sarcoma at 46. The Mexico City native, whose brutal four-fight saga with Rafael Marquez, 2007 to 2010, produced what Ring magazine declared the greatest rivalry in lower weight history, embodied the very soul of Mexican boxing. Fearless, technically brilliant, and willing to leave everything in the ring. Their 2008 Fight of the Year, featuring a dramatic 12th-round knockout by Vasquez, remains etched in boxing lore as a 25-minute masterclass in heart and skill. Vasquez's career, 44-5, 32 KOs, was a study in resilience. After retinal surgeries threatened to end his career in 2004, he reinvented himself as a pressure-fighting technician, capturing WBC titles across 2 divisions. His signature body attack, particularly the left hook to the liver, became required study for aspiring Mexican fighters. Even in retirement, Vasquez remained a revered figure, coaching young boxers at LA's famed Wildcard Gym while battling the cancer that would ultimately claim him. The disease, first diagnosed in 2022, never dimmed his spirit. He attended this year's Canelo fight just weeks before passing, embodying the Mexican fighting spirit until the end. Number 6. Sheriff Lawal. The harsh realities of boxing's dangers came crashing down on May 12, 2024, when 29-year-old British middleweight Sheriff Lawal collapsed in the ring during his professional debut at London's Harrow Leisure Centre. The promising fighter, who had turned pro after an impressive amateur career, was stopped in the 4th round by Portuguese opponent Malam Varela. Though Lawal regained consciousness after the knockout, he suffered a sudden cardiac arrest in the dressing room and could not be revived. His death marked the first in-ring fatality in British boxing since 2016, sending shockwaves through the sport. Lawal's tragic debut exposed critical gaps in boxing's safety net. The British Boxing Board of Control investigation revealed the Nigerian-born fighter had passed all pre-fight medicals, including an ECG, but questions arose about the venue's emergency response time. Promoters subsequently implemented Sheriff's Rule, mandating defibrillators and trauma specialists at all professional events. While his official record ends at 0-1, Lawal's legacy lives on through safety reforms that may prevent future tragedies. As his grieving trainer noted, he came to boxing to to change his life. Instead, he changed the sport forever. Number 7. Genadij Kviki. The boxing world lost an enigmatic figure in December 2024 when Lithuanian heavyweight Genadij the Baltic Bomber Kviki passed away unexpectedly at 37. Best known for his 2020 bout against Tommy Fury, which he lost by decision after knocking the reality star down in the third round, Kviki embodied the rugged journeyman spirit of European boxing. The Klaipėda native compiled a deceptive 18-12 record, 14 KOs, with most losses coming against elite prospects like Fraser Clark and Ivan Dichko in fights where he consistently outperformed expectations. Kviki's career was a study in perseverance. After turning pro at 28 following a sparse amateur career, he became a fixture on the Eastern European circuit, known for his granite chin and looping overhand right. His 2022 upset KO of previously unbeaten German prospect Stefan Bauer earned him brief regional title consideration. Outside the ring, Kviki worked as a longshoreman in Klaipėda's port, often training during lunch breaks. While his cause of death remains undisclosed, the Lithuanian Boxing Federation confirmed he had been preparing for a comeback before his passing. Kviki's legacy endures as proof that in boxing's harsh ecosystem, even opponents can leave indelible marks. Number 8. Lionel Fatupaito. The sport lost one of its quiet architects in 2024 when Lionel Fatupaito, the longtime national boxing coach of Samoa, passed away from natural causes during the Paris Olympics. A former lightweight contender in the 1990s who transitioned seamlessly into coaching, Fatupaito dedicated 2 decades to developing Pacific Island talent from makeshift gyms in Apia to the Olympic stage. His most famous protege, 2020 Olympian Marian Faustino Atong, credited Fatupaito's innovative jungle rounds, brutal endurance sessions in Samoa's mountainous terrain, for forging champions. Fatupaito's sudden passing during Samoa's first Olympic boxing qualification in 12 years cast a pall over the tournament. Boxers honored him by wearing black armbands, while the Samoan team turned what would have been his 50th birthday into a celebration of his legacy, distributing hundreds of his handwritten training journals to young fighters. Though he never sought global acclaim, Fatupaito's influence stretched beyond the Pacific. His coconut water hydration techniques were adopted by multiple Olympic teams. The International Boxing Association posthumously awarded him its Coach of the Year honor, but his true monument remains the generation of Samoan fighters who still throw his signature 3-pivot uppercut.